What if your calorie deficit, the thing that's tried and true, the thing that's backed by science, is actually what is holding you back from achieving the best physique you've ever had? In this video, I'm gonna address the biggest mistake that everybody makes with the calories in versus calorie out mindset. And I'm gonna give you exactly what I've been doing that has transformed my body to look better than ever. If you feel like you've genuinely tried the low calorie approach, you've tried tracking your food, you've tried moving more throughout the day, maybe even spamming more cardio and suffering that way, but you still can't lose the stubborn belly fat, then this video is for you. I used to obsess over calories. I thought if I ate less calories, I would start to look better and look leaner over time, but that's actually not what was happening. When I was eating 2,300 calories a day, I still had the stubborn belly fat, but my energy crashed. I had no motivation to get out of bed in the morning, to go do hard things like work out. But the problem wasn't the calories, it was the food quality. And here's exactly what I did wrong and how changing what I ate, not how much I ate, finally got me shredded and feeling like myself again. Technically, it's true. You need a calorie deficit to lose fat. So like you've probably tried, I tracked every gram of food. I tracked every meal. I was eating things like pre-packaged oats, protein bars, even things like Subway, because they were quick, they were easy. I thought these were healthy options. I genuinely felt like I was starving myself throughout the day, but the scale was barely moving and my energy, it sucked. I genuinely would look in the mirror and I would look puffy, I would look inflamed, I would look worse than I did before I hopped on a calorie deficit. And that's when I realized that a caloric deficit is not the most efficient way to lose fat if your hormones and your hunger signals are destroyed. There's really three main reasons why the caloric approach fails, and one of them is that high caloric density leads to small portion sizes. You can go in and you can get a meal somewhere like Subway, a 6-inch meal maybe for 900 or 1,200 calories, but you're barely getting any food. You leave there, your insulin spikes, you don't feel full, but the reality is if you ate whole foods, you could eat almost double the amount of food probably, things like steak and potatoes and eggs, and then you would feel full for hours until it's optimal to actually have your next meal. This is why you always feel hungry. Low calorie food has low volume and a low impact on your satiety. It tricks your brain into thinking that you need more food, so you find yourself grazing around throughout the day, snacking more, opening the fridge more, going in the pantry more, and this is destroying your caloric deficit, your ability to lose fat. The second reason is around the low satiety that these foods have and the addiction that they cause. These foods are literally engineered to keep you eating them. Wouldn't it make sense if companies made these foods addictive? So every time you went in the store, every time you felt hungry and wanted a snack, you were reaching for their product, you were putting money in their pockets. They have the perfect ratio of sugar, of salt, of fat, all of the things that they can do to trick your brain into keep eating these things. They trigger your brain's reward system, they spike your insulin, they spike your dopamine, they make you want more. You can eat something like a sub and be hungry 30 minutes later. And this is what kills so many people's progress. It's when you find yourself reaching for more food throughout the day, even when you're not necessarily hungry, that destroys your progress. It's like playing a video game on ultra hard mode when you could have it on easy mode, because the foods you are eating are making you more hungry throughout the day. They make you feel like you're suffering more throughout the day. The third part, the part that nobody really likes to talk about, it's just the harsh reality, is that these foods don't just destroy your deficit, they also destroy your hormones. You ever feel tired all of the time? You have no motivation or drive to go to the gym? You don't realize how cutting out the fast food, cutting out the artificial ingredients and sweeteners, and even the seed oils can actually bring back your energy and motivation in a short period of time. This is what caused my motivation to shoot up. I finally started seeing progress and the stubborn belly fat finally started to go away. The problem is that these ingredients are in so many foods that people eat them without even realizing it. You have to be ultra aware. Once I stopped focusing on just calories and started focusing on eating real foods, this is where I've made the most progress in my entire life. After 4 years of training, I've made the most progress in this amount of time because of the way I was eating. I cut out and replaced all the processed junk and BS with things like red meat and eggs for cholesterol and protein. I've upped my intake of raw dairy for micronutrients. Potatoes, fruit, and honey are my carb sources. I run really efficient on these in the gym if I eat them like 30 to 45 minutes before the gym, and then at the gym I burn them off. They're not making me more fat. And then for healthy fats, you want some grass-fed, some raw butter, things like avocados, avocado oil. These are great, healthy sources of fat. They're efficient sources of energy for your brain and your body. After just a few days of changing what I was putting in my mouth, I stopped feeling hungry 24/7. My energy started to stabilize. And the coolest part is after just a few days, my body stopped craving junk. I've been eating 500 to 800 calories more than I was when I was in a caloric deficit, and I am losing fat faster. Now that doesn't sound like it should be possible, but it's because my hormones and my metabolism are functioning properly again. And something that just makes me cringe online is there's so much of this balance is key bullshit out there. But if you are somebody with skinny fat genetics or you've been overweight your whole life, you probably put on fat pretty easily and you don't have a lot of muscle mass yet. These influencers and people who are showing off their crazy cheat meals and they still look shredded, they're probably either have elite genetics or they're enhanced, but you don't have either of those advantages. You can't balance your way to a lean and aesthetic physique, the best physique you've ever had in your life, by eating junk 40% of the time. You have to be all in on the process and all in on eating clean, at least long enough to let your hormones and your metabolism start to function how they should again. So if you've been dieting, you've been tracking every calorie, and you're not losing the belly fat for a week, just try and stop counting every single calorie and start focusing on food quality and just see how you look and how you feel after 1 week. Eat real food and build your meals around red meat, eggs, healthy fats, and a little bit of carbs if you need them before your workout. And watch how fast your energy, your focus, and your body will actually transform. I'm telling you, if you can stick to it for 3 to 5 days, which surprisingly most people cannot, you will actually be shocked how you feel. You can't binge eat and eat as many calories as you want because yes, at the end of the day, they do slightly matter, but not as much as people actually think. Food quality is what's going to decide your body composition, where your fat is stored, how much muscle you have, how lean you look. If you want the exact meal plan that I followed that has helped transform my physique, DM me on Instagram. The link will be in the description. And if you like this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you're not, because we are building the best version of you right here, right now.